This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, well, what do you even say? It's Chairman of the Board. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Celery stalk.
And we hate movies. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, is this the week we kill ourselves on the air? We'll see. We're talking about Chairman of the Board from 1998, directed by Alex Zamm, who I think we're getting the hat trick with this guy.
Oh, I like this.
Because previous episodes, Jingle All the Way 2,
Goof,
and Tooth Fairy 2.
Wow.
Welcome to the Three Timers Club.
And he is a sequel boy, man. He's doing the new Leprechaun. Leprechaun Returns. That's him. That's a Zamm joint.
He did direct Inspector Gadget 2, and I mean, I wasn't aware of this. Maybe I was, but I blocked it out because it was very traumatic to even look at the poster. Did you know in 2017, the year of our Lord, there was a fucking live-action Woody Woodpecker movie?
Yes, but barely.
What?
Yeah. I don't think anyone was in it. I don't know.
The guy doing the voice was a very big voice actor whose name escapes me. I think he's done like Batman and shit. He's a big deal voice actor guy. So it wasn't a celebrity. So I guess that's why they couldn't fucking successfully market it. Nobody is in it people-wise either, I don't think. But this motherfucker co-wrote and directed it.
Wow, well, good for him. I mean, this is an illustrious career. And now we're finally talking about one of his magnum opuses.
Yes.
Chairman of the Board.
He's the one that broke him through. His breakthrough, I would say.
Breakthrough infection.
Yes.
If you're unfamiliar, this is the single motion picture starring the prop comedian Carrot Top.
That's right.
And by the way, let's just get this out of the way now because we're going to have a lot of fun here talking about this episode. Carrot Top 1. The dude is a fucking millionaire. He has a compound in Vegas, very successful with what he has done. But all of that
he could
has
buy and
nothing
sell
to do with this movie.
No, yes. He could buy and sell all four of our fat asses.
He's in way better shape than all of us combined.
All that does not make him any easier to look at. It is very difficult. I don't mean any aspersions against the guy. I'm saying it is incredibly difficult for me to look at him and not want. It's the sun. I don't want to look. It's the
hair's a lot.
Here's
it's
a question, actually, and this is a good question. Would you rather watch this movie without sound or listen to this movie without video? Because, I mean, the audio isn't great either, folks. I'm just going to be honest. Like, the voice.
I'd watch it on mute, I guess.
Yes.
I'm listening. That's just dissonance. That's like Metal Machine music.
Well,
you can.
But wait a second, though. Wait a second. You have to specify, Steve, how you're listening to it. Is it, like you're saying, Chris, the movie's on in the other room and you're just hearing it, or you have the entire fucking thing piped right in through cans?
Headphones. It's headphones or watching it on mute.
Still going with the other side. I cannot tell you how stressed and like irritated I get looking at this man.
But
Chris,
let me weigh in mine real quick. I would go with the mute. Because then you're not hearing the fucking circus music score.
Yeah.
Eric, Siska, where do you lead?
Well, I was going to say I would watch it on mute. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm on. I think I'm on mute too. I think I'm on mute too because I just maybe I'd fall asleep too because it'd be so relaxed.
I lived through the 90s, so I've heard his voice.
Yeah.
I've gotten accustomed to his voice, but in the background, I haven't stared
grown
at.
accustomed to your
honestly, Chris,
Just that exactly.
I would say Carrot Top as a performer is underrated.
Really?
I would, because I think he actually commits to shit.
As compared to what?
So his comedy might not be for you, but he's like fucking swinging for the fences.
But like,
and I'm sure his Vegas show is way better than any of the shit he was doing in the early 90s or mid 90s.
That's one thing. if this was like a Gallagher, like imagine it's a Gallagher movie and he's not putting a hammer towards anything. Then you would be annoyed.
To be fair, Chris, there are plenty of inventions that are basically him doing prop comedy.
I think this movie is his act.
When he meets like Taylor and Negron, he goes through all of his fucking inventions.
The genius of I mean, if there is a genius to prop comedy,
there's not.
Inventing a story around one piece. These are things that have been built by the production design, all that. Like, there's no invention to it.
I would guess, and I'm not going to check, some of these inventions, like glow gunk or whatever, some of it was in his act, and then they were like, oh, we'll do that. It's the famous Carrot Top joke, whatever the fuck.
It's the famous Carrot Top bit where he's talking about how he wishes his headboard had hands to jerk him off in the morning.
Oh, well,
or
classic bit.
The asshole fanny pack.
Guaranteed. But see, that's the thing, right? It's why his stand-up is not for me. I do not care for prop comedy. I never have, never will. I know some people, whatever, that's fine. But what's like terrible about putting that into this movie is it's forcing other people to also do it. So he's got like his roommates, right? His two surfer dude roommates that are like, oh, right, Carrot Top, or Edison is the character's name. Like that time you had the fucking photorealistic fanny pack. And the other guy's got to model the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I got a question for you guys. What is worse, prop comedy or ventriloquist?
That's what I was just thinking. So I have a 3 circle of hell situation.
Okay.
It's you die and you're a bad person, which we all are.
Yes.
And there's 3 doors and the devil's like, you have to go through one, and that's how you're going to spend eternity.
Do you know what the doors are in advance?
Yes, he's going to label them.
They're clearly labeled here, Andrew.
What a kind devil.
One is prop comedy, one is ventriloquism, and the other, it's magic.
Oh, maybe I'd do magic.
I'm doing magic.
I would do magic.
I think maybe magic's too easy then. Yeah, I think I would do magic. All right, so we're going to remove the magic door.
Oh, great. Thanks, Satan. Now the magic's off the table.
Wow, I can't believe I just got tricked by the devil.
Sorry, no, here's the situation. Too many people are in the magic situation, and I realized, like, well, then it can't be a punishment then if everyone's just choosing it so quickly. So, no, we're going to go to the binary choice of either ventriloquism or prop comedy.
I misspoke. It was miming, not magicians miming.
All right, so if we're just going the
prop
two
comedy ventriloquism, I think I would go. I think I'd go ventriloquism.
I'd go prop.
I'm prop because ventriloquist dummies, as well documented on the show, freaks me out.
Yeah, prop. I'm going prop too because I watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? It wasn't always horrible.
The ventriloquist thing is like, it's a prop that's now talking.
Is Gallagher a prop comic, or is he his own thing?
I would guess I would classify it as that, I guess.
It's supposed a librarian that had to
experimental.
Yeah.
I think, though, because there was one time drugs and alcohol were definitely involved, but I was watching like a Gallagher thing somewhere.
Sure.
And I have a vague memory of like there were other props involved.
Yeah.
The Sledge-O-Matic is just the fucking curtain closer.
Oh, yeah.
There's other shit going on.
We gotta rewatch some of that stuff.
I think he has like clown talents. Like he can do like balloon tricks, I get the feeling, or something like that. He's always putting shit on his head.
Well, sure.
This is, bring back a memory. I think he does have some props.
So he's a prop comic, but he's got a good closer.
Because I want to say it was Gallagher because I was trying to think about this the other day and I was telling you guys about it and I was mixing it up thinking it was Carrot Top, but I'm pretty sure there was a Gallagher bit where he was like, oh yeah, you want to see this? It's my little Mexican jumping bean. He can jump over border walls. And it was just like,
I think there was a special where he had like a giant bed.
Yes.
And he was doing like a sleepover.
I'm going to sleep, everybody.
Don't you want to watch Gallagher sleep?
You know what else is prop comedy? Is those fucking white dudes with guitars.
Oh, that's
that
the other
shit.
one. That's the other one. So you could go back.
Noodly guitar comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was a thing. That was like an early aughts type of.
That was massive. Stephen, what's his face?
Stephen Lynch was big.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest one.
This is what I'm going to pitch to you.
D's kind of in that, but it's way better.
We're talking about a film called Chairman of the Board, or we're not talking about it because we don't want to.
You know
we're trying our best.
You know how they should spell board?
Oh, how's that?
B-O-R-E-D.
Right.
We are kind of doing this for Norm in a way.
Yeah, a little bit of a Norm, because I mean, Norm told the greatest joke on late night television ever. That's what it was.
Yes.
The greatest quip
so good.
ever recorded.
This movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
And also, literally, on the Wikipedia, I read the Wikipedia cover to cover on this movie. And
Nice.
the IMDb trivia cover to cover. And it's not much on either. So much of it is just based on that Norm Macdonald joke. It's fucking hilarious. Like, there's just so little about this movie that exists in the zeitgeist except for that.
That probably got people out to the theater that weekend.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You know what else like I saw about this? I saw Carrot Top apparently, and this might have been one of his Vegas shows after Norm passed, like introduced the clip and showed it to people.
Is that right?
And it sounded like they had like buried the hatchet and there was no real animosity about it, which was really nice to see, to me.
Norm is the only reason anybody's watched this movie after 1998.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the only fucking reason.
You see him make that brilliant joke, and then you go, well, what could this be about? And then you rent this movie, I guess.
Yeah, all the Carrot Top fans are just running for the VHS and the fucking
Chris,
streaming rights.
There's more people in this. She's in the movie too,
Oh,
Chris.
I'm sorry, the Emmet Walsh heads.
Yes,
the Walshites.
No. Larry Miller, I think, turns in a fucking awesome performance in
he's
this movie.
very good.
I think he's very funny.
If Larry Miller was doing this performance in any other movie aside Chairman of the Board starring Carrot Top, you'd be like, that's a great comedic villain performance.
You ever see those like statues of Atlas where he's holding the whole world
Sure,
up?
yeah.
Like, and it's just, and like some of them get really like, it shows the strain that he's under to do.
Yeah, like
such
his balls are about to explode.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God. That is Larry Miller in this movie. He is holding the movie. Oh my God, Carrot Top, you weigh so much.
That's Larry Miller in general, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
He's done this for many a movie where he's been the saint that's going to give us some laughs.
What? He's in that muckety muck Hulk Hogan movie we did. He's the bad guy in that.
No, he's not.
Oh,
that's
what
Kurt
am I-
Fuller.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Kurt Fuller. You're right. Kurt Fuller also
He's doing it.
does that for movie comedy.
If we're talking,
Miller has the star turn in fucking Best in Show.
I was going to say, it's my favorite joke of all time when they're sitting at the table and he's talking about his job, which is a hostage negotiator, the suicide negotiator. And they're like, oh, so I got this guy up there and he's ready to jump. And then like, oh, so did you talk? Oh, no, they all jump. It's just the idea of the way he just, they all jump. It's just a matter of, it's just like, they all jump is one of my fucking favorite jokes.
We just have to make it look good.
Yes. And he's only in the movie like 7 minutes. He just, and that's one of the funniest movies of all time.
Yeah.
And he is so fucking good in that movie.
So
let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, so this movie, without getting like derailed by Carrot Top conversation just yet, this is a movie about a guy who wants to be an inventor. He runs into an eccentric old billionaire played by Jack Warden. They have a day of surfing together.
Much like Melvin and Howard.
Sure,
Very similar.
That's oh God. That's kind of that's closer than I thought it would be. You're totally right. So then like the guy Jack Warden passes away and bequeaths his big company to Carrot Top, and Carrot Top becomes the titular chairman of the board, him shaking up this company, and Larry Miller is the nephew that thought he was going to inherit the company, and he's out to torpedo Carrot Top's success.
Yes.
That's the movie.
That's it.
Yes.
There it is.
And good God, I like if you asked me what this movie was about directly after it was over, I would be like, what? What did you just ask me? What?
Clear.
Now, someone in this room has seen this movie more than the rest of
Yes.
everyone
Yeah.
else in this room.
Who could that be?
You're
This
the one
was
who
a
put it on Twitter. I would not bring it up if you didn't bring it on
This
Twitter.
was a mistake I made. I went out and I went drinking, and I was like, because we were recording this on a weekend, and I was like, I'm going to watch that movie tonight. And then I kept drinking, and then I smoked some stuff. I'm like, I'm watching Chairman of the Board. I'm going to watch this movie. And then I look at my notes the next day, and it's just indecipherable. It's just like scratches on paper. There's literally no words there.
Is this whole section about Fidel Castro?
And I was pretty cognizant until like the last 20 minutes or
Yes.
so. But then I was like, these notes are terrible. All right, I have to watch it again because I fucked up, and I watched it again. So I watched it twice in 24 hours.
Now, let me ask Eric, did you watch this when you were younger, or was this first time?
I saw it maybe once.
Wow.
Probably like on Comedy Central or somewhere years and years ago when I was young as fuck, and I never revisited it until now.
I avoided this movie like poison when it was out, and when me and my wife got together, we're both bad movie heads. That's what we do.
Sure.
And we watched like the It's Pat movie, and we'd sort of challenge each other on like really horrific movies. We definitely watched this back in like 11 or something, or in 11 or
Really?
whatever, and it was like, Yeah, that's terrible.
This was the first time last night. One and done.
It's Pat, a sweeping masterpiece as compared to this fucking thing.
See, that's the thing is like I will actually give It's Pat a few points. I think Charles Rocket's pretty good in that movie.
Yeah.
So I guess I like bad movies or something.
Well,
yeah, that's
weird.
Because I kind of think this is almost seeing is believing. You're going to find it excruciating probably, but I think Larry Miller has some fun moments. And I don't know if you like bad movies. This is kind of one of the ones to see.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say it is a one-time seeing is believing type situation. It very similar to The Pest.
I got a lot of Pest vibes.
Very pesty.
I was just about to say though, I found this much more watchable. Than
I agree. I would say this is better.
Even though
than
it
The
starts
Pest.
almost exactly the same way with our hero in the shower, annoying.
Yeah, I think you're right because at least Larry Miller's in there, and like you can have moments where like, oh, Emmet Walsh, I like just watching him.
That's the thing. There's nothing else going on in The Pest.
I feel. I mean,
Is it Jeffrey Jones?
Jeffrey
the
Jones.
Bad
That's
guy
what
doing
I'm
a German
like,
accent.
Yeah.
You
A
feel
little-
bad. You feel more guilty about enjoying Jeffrey Jones than you feel about enjoying Larry Miller.
Well, that's the weird thing about this and The Pest, and which is also weird that Gallagher never got his, which is just like, well, let's just give him a movie and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, and John Leguizamo was a much better actor than Carrot Top or Gallagher, but he was of that like, you know, he had that sketch, that sketch comedy
The
show,
one-man show before that.
and they're like, let's just give him a movie and like get this energy out there and just see what happens. That's what this is, and it is. Whew.
Yeah.
But you know, we don't quite open on the shower. What I love about this opening, man, we open, and we got to talk about this. Him as a baby in the womb, controlling things with levers, machinery, beakers.
Dude, he's got a science lab in this woman's womb.
He's got none of that bothers me as much as the full head of hair. Honestly,
the full head of hair on the baby, and he's got a framed photo on the wall of the uterus of a sperm named Dad.
It's got like the front seat of a Chevrolet in this fucking thing. Is this Titan? Is this what this?
That's, I think, some of this Julie Ducournau ripped specifically from Chairman of the Board to put it in the
I am a huge fan of Chairman of the Board.
Get up, you know, much like the French before me that love the Jerry Lewis. The French people now my age have very much loved the comedy of Carrot Top, you see.
Alexander Zamm, a glowing homage to Cronenberg in the Chairman of the Board.
It's unsettling because it's also just like it's a fetus puppet made to look exactly like Carrot Top.
Oh, it's a baby, isn't it? It's just a baby.
There is
Oh
an
no, you're
actual
right. It
baby.
is an actual
Baby.
baby.
Baby with a wig.
You're right.
Yeah.
In my head, though, for whatever reason,
that'd be really.
The
We're
first-
watching Annette.
God, I wish. The first time I saw it, though, I thought of nothing but the 2001 Star Child with the Carrot Top head.
Yeah.
And how that's like got the big eyes and it's fun.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought I saw that.
But it's not, he's not getting out of the womb. Like, you know, there's a struggle with the mother birthing him.
Because he's still inventing in there.
Yeah, he's inventing in there. He takes like, okay, so a little beaker of placenta juice, and let's put that together, and it explodes in a reaction that throws him out of the womb.
And I think the idea-
through a wall in a very cartoonish fashion.
And I think the idea is that's why his hair is curly, because at first the wig is very it's a big red wig. He looks like a little baby Blanca kind of like it's like straight red hair and then it gets curly after he gets exploded.
From the so a pussy explosion causes his hair to be more wavy.
Yes, I think that's the idea. And the pussy explosion also has a Blanca got started.
Alex, we got an issue here. The baby keeps on taking off the wig. Stupid carrot. We're gonna have to glue it on because it cries. Every
Glue
time
it
it's
on. We're making a Carrot Top movie. Anything goes.
Well, we're gonna have to
Glue that wig to that baby's head.
That's how you know your movie is intellectually bankrupt, because it's always like, when I was a kid.
That
and
is
it's
the
like,
thing,
just
though.
shut the fuck up.
I was thinking about that, dude, like all the way back to our Gone Fishing episode,
Yes.
where it's a comedy where you have to see them little. But this, I feel like, acknowledges that trope in bad comedies and just takes it to that next obnoxious level of
It's
like,
kind of a
you
wink,
think it's
I guess.
like you think it's bad seeing a comedy star like of a movie when he's a kid. What about if he was in the fucking womb?
They did that forever. See, this is what tells you that Carrot Top didn't get that far. They would usually give this a whole TV series. This would be an animated
Little
program
Carrot
of Little
Top?
Carrot
Yeah,
Top.
yeah.
Baby Carrot Top.
Baby Carrot Top.
You'd have to
Like Home Improvement, that Christopher Titus had a show.
Yes.
A lot of
Titus.
people had shows, Why
Well,
not
I mean,
Carrot Top?
the
No, but
one-
you're saying specifically like a cartoon, like how Howie Mandel had Bobby's World.
Yes.
Little
That's
Louie,
what I-
I
Little
guess that would
Louie,
make
and now there's
sense.
this Ellen DeGeneres show that no one's watching.
No, wait, what? What is that
Huh?
asshole
Is it-
doing?
Who?
It's Ellen DeGeneres is a little kid and she gets into adventures. It's on HBO Max.
No, that's her fucking talk show.
No, it's a cartoon, my friend.
Wow, man, wonderful.
I mean, they had one for Andrew Dice Clay, but it was only showed on Showtime. They had
Or what the fuck? The Little Adventures of Bruno. What the fuck was that cartoon?
oh yeah,
we did?
the Bruce Willis guy, Bruno. Fuck,
Yeah, what was the name
Yeah.
of that cartoon?
baby
I
Bruno.
think you're right. It's one of those.
Bruno is in it
Yeah.
because that was like the
Bruno the
return of
Kid.
Bruno the Kid,
That's what it
absolutely.
was. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, like, look at this. Like, Ellen DeGeneres getting yet another show. Every rich lordling getting another show. Honestly, put a fucking Carrot Top cartoon on HBO
Well-
Max. See what fucking happens.
make it for adults. I'll watch
It's
it.
literally called Little Ellen.
God damn, who is watching this
See,
shit?
This is why I'm saying
the same idiots that are like young Sheldon's hilarious.
you should absolutely have an Andrew Dice Clay version of this. Beep, 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 you fucking pussies.
Obviously, Carrot Top is not everyone's, thing. Specifically, Chris Cabin's
really not.
You look like a carrot right now in the face. You're so angry.
I enjoy him as much as I enjoy actual Carrot Tops.
You're more of a
Those could be
carrot
good.
bottom.
You can raise those in some butter. You can,
Sure.
Carrot greens could be okay.
Carrot greens, you cut the top off. though.
Yeah, that's
every
that's a
fucking
good
time.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, where the stem meets the
Yeah,
carrot
yeah.
itself.
And I want my scalps.
I want 50 Carrot Tops.
Okay, so he's going to be an inventor. He's named Edison, which is a nice. Is that because his mom knows that he was tinkering in the womb and made some pussy explosion happen?
Well, I mean,
or-
like after. I mean, you have to go in there. You got to get all those beakers out. You got to
That's
get
all the
true.
framed
Oh, yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
broken glass
This is
inside her
dangerous
pussy.
surgery. I mean, like literally invasive surgery. to
I
get
think
all
that woman's just dead.
Yeah, days and days of surgery, if not.
We never see his parents again, so yeah, they
Yep.
might be dead. They
Oh,
might
his-
both have
I
died.
killed my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my father committed suicide after that.
But I think what makes it very grating, and like, it's one thing like you're a wacky comedian as your stand-up actor, prop comedy actor, whatever it is. That's fine. But translating that to a movie and you're just wacky the entire time, it
Yep.
doesn't really work.
No, because he's not like. And I was thinking about this because this movie is very much. It's Tommy Boy with an incredibly unlikable character.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because Tommy is likable, and like Chris Farley obviously was a great
And it has
actor.
heart, and it's
Yes.
got a groundness of it. You actually feel like that factory is a real thing.
Exactly. Like you care about the people in there, etc. And like when he fucks up, it's specific. It's like, oh, Tommy's just like playing around a little bit with the Luke, I am your father bit, and whatever. Like he's just a dim-witted big loaf.
Yeah.
Carrot Top's just like, I don't know how to do anything. You made me make coffee. I'm just putting bananas in it. It's like, no, we'll fucking make coffee, Carrot Top. You've had coffee, you son of a bitch.
But aside from Chris Farley, Tommy Boy also has heart.
Yeah, so
like,
yeah, of course.
There's actual heart in the script. This, like, you could have made him and his friends actual close buddies.
Yes.
We grew up together. All that shit. They're like, duh, you joke.
Yeah.
Not even
Duh,
just
you
them,
joke?
but Allison from Melrose Place,
Allison?
whatever her name is,
Honey, Thorne-Smith, please.
she needs a bigger role.
She
There
does.
needs to be something to this character. It's just a complete afterthought. Because it's like a movie needs a girl. I'm going to get the girl in the end. Don't give a shit about anything about getting there.
Yeah, so you have to like do some of that work. And again, Tommy Boy, they do. Like you have the rowboat scene, and all
Which
that.
is
stuff.
really
I mean-
funny.
Yes.
The idea of this movie is literally like the same idea they have for entertaining babies. They're like, oh, just put him with the old people. They'll love him. They'll get a lot of. They
Yeah.
like it's just Emmet Walsh, Jack Ward, and the other old guy,
Bill
from
Erwin.
from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like all those like. They're just hanging out and be like, boy, howdy, I love partying down
Oh,
with
yeah.
Carrot Top.
That's the big, like another big difference. Like if we want to use the Tommy Boy comparison again, right? Like the in this movie, like the working man sort of encompassed entirely by the guy from Rescue Me,
Yes.
Jack, whatever the fuck,
Yeah,
Jack
yeah, yeah.
McGee,
Yeah.
the actor, also a Law and
Yes.
Order staple.
He's great.
That dude is the only real embodiment of the working man in the movie, and everything else regarding the company is all like the people who are on the board of directors,
Yes.
like your old man from Seinfeld, Bill Erwin, and Emmet Walsh, right? And then just the gag is like it's just another long table of old guys. Versus Tommy Boy, when the brake pad company is fucked up and the factory's going to go under, you're hearing way more from the working people, and that helps ground it more. I don't care about these board members losing.
It feels
their
like a world.
They're worried about it. They're worried about what's going to happen to the company. And this one, he says, "Luau Wednesdays." And they're like, "We're so happy. We never have to be paid again.
Well,
we
to be
love
fair,
you so much."
Now, maybe this is because I watched this movie twice, but it's Luau Wednesdays, and he's going to include profit sharing to the workers.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, Carrot Top's already better than almost every CEO today.
That's amazing. It's incredible that they do that. And I was expecting that minute, like Emmet Walsh is like, "We have to kill him."
It's actually, it's fun, Carrot Top. Luau Wednesday. We got to kill that guy.
Yeah, you got to cut his throat in the parking lot. Make sure he doesn't come into work next week.
I'm going to go blood simple on his red-headed ass. You're going to put my cowboy hat on and become the personification to death, y'all.
You think I'm funny? Ask Dan Hedaya.
Yeah, you're going to be hiding in a hotel room. I'm going to come knocking on the door. You're going to see my shadow. Like, and that's the other thing, right? Is like that whole fucking table of old dudes would be what Larry Miller is doing.
Yes.
Right? Like Larry Miller is the villain because Larry Miller wants to sell the entire company off to Raquel Welch, strip it for parts, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Those dudes would be behind that too, right? Fucking do it. I'm going to get a bunch of money. Larry Miller sells the company.
It's like literally the fake fucking college movie from The Simpsons. Lighten up, Bitterman.
Yes.
Like literally.
He's the chairman of partying down is what he is.
One guy is fucking it all for everybody, apparently. It's not that everybody's greedy as shit.
We need to talk a little bit about Carrot Top's living situation.
Yes.
It's a tough one.
You mentioned the headboard with the robot arms that
We didn't
tried
talk
to
enough
make-
about it because it's disgusting.
We didn't talk about what?
The arms enough because they're like flesh lady arms because it's a joke. Like you're really close on Carrot Top and two arms are like, "Ooh, Carrot Top, let's have sex."
And here's the unsettling thing about that right from the jump, because of course, because it's this kind of movie, Carrot Top is definitely dressed in children's PJs and the sheets are like X-Men or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And then
also the target audience, right? Like this is for 13-year-olds.
Yes. Tops.
When I was a 13-year-old, I wasn't wearing my jammies to bed.
But like, look at
my
Pee-
feet.
I mean, this is kind of a lesser Pee Wee Herman, and it's sort of the same idea.
Do not compare Pee Wee Herman to this fucking
It's kind of this.
Pee Wee Herman had a clean house other than the
That's
inventions.
true.
This
I
is
don't
a
know.
shithole.
John B would be like, "You know what, Pee Wee? That sink's looking awfully full."
Hey, get this pizza box off my face, would you, Pee Wee?
Carrot Top does have a Bob's Big Boy statue in the house, which is very interesting.
But the two hands are like, you zoom out and they're like puppet hands. And like, he's like, "Girls, I can't do it right now. Yikes." And it's like, what are it's like a jerk off machine, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
and
it
he was
is.
ahead of his time. Look at that. What an invention.
Dude, and here's the thing. I will be the first person to admit, whatever. I love ska music. I still listen to all waves of ska music to this day. Ska music has no business being the bed music in films. Absolutely not. Get ska music out of your fucking movie.
Yeah, if you want to have like a fun word drinking scene, you want to put the real big fish in it. No complaints here. I'm not the world's biggest ska fan, but I enjoy some of it, and that's fine. But like when it's just underneath everything, it turns into circus music.
Yep. It's so obnoxiously distracting.
It's trying to be youthful and vibrant.
And it also was 1998. So here's a question about them hands real quick. In the close-up shot, is it real lady hands? And then when we back out,
it
it's
really?
fake
Yes.
puppet
I believe
hands?
Yeah, because you can see them that they're real hands and then they back out.
This is a great invention, dude.
So he's just, I've created a perfect synthesis for human skin.
Hey, everybody, I invented the flashlight.
Hey, what is this? You got a light? You wanted to like look around, find something in the dark, but you also want to fuck it? Look, it's a flashlight. His bed has a timer that like if he doesn't wake up in 10 seconds, it'll throw him out of the bed, which it does.
This like rocket shit.
Yeah.
God, just
Where's Gromit? Where is he to fucking snip the cheese?
Just own an alarm clock. Just a regular fucking alarm
Then
clock.
he takes a shower, and we
He
get
takes a shower.
he's got a shower invention with the weird helmet and all that. And this is where he does some science fiction lines. 10 seconds to open the pod bay doors.
That's fun.
Houston, we have a problem, I think is uttered.
Absolutely. Now, here's a question about that shower scene. And maybe it's because his name is Edison and he's a genius inventor and he's like got the next thing on
We already
soap.
jerked off in bed, if that's what you're getting at. The bed jerked him off before.
Is he not lathering up his body with shaving cream?
I don't
I think that's
Is it just bad
I don't know.
prop soap?
I think it's bad
I
prop
think that's
soap,
what.
yeah.
Because it's just shaving cream.
Yeah.
because he's like naked throughout the first 20 minutes.
Estelle
of the movie.
Harris is looking at his fucking redheaded
oh
dick.
my God, this woman.
Poor Estelle Harris.
And she's got this like cigarette voice box throughout this entire movie.
Random.
Estelle Harris, George Costanza's mother from Seinfeld, hilarious comic actress.
Ugh.
Just has to be with the voice
Well,
box.
The shaving cream thing, though, like I guarantee you what happened was they were like, all right, so you're going to be lathering up. He's like, this isn't wacky enough. Excuse me, Alexander Zammy, could you put more lathery stuff? This isn't wacky enough. Come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel it was a thing. Like, so this movie comes out in 97. You're making it, or it comes out in 98. You're making it in 97. Stella Harris is looking at the writing on the wall and she's like, well, Seinfeld's ending next year.
Yeah.
I need to find something.
I didn't get on that Ray Romano show. God damn it.
Yeah, totally. And here she is in this movie.
It's tough. She's like your classic old landlady. Where's the rent? No, she's actually showing the apartment to somebody else.
Yeah.
Something happens here that it disturbed me deeply, and I think it's the same for Eric.
Freezer.
She opens the freezer, and a dead cat pops out, and it's not a It's not an invention. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to reinvent my cat. Or I don't know. He sounds like Skeeter from Doug, which I'm fine with. And it's just like I'm trying to. He's not trying to invent anything. It's just a literal dead
It's
cat.
just serial killer shit's happening
Exactly.
in
It's
this
Ted
house.
Bundy shit.
Yeah.
Look at the cat. You were witness to a new becoming.
It's weird. Yeah, she's showing.
That cat was boring, and then I took his insides out and made him fun.
She does have a line that this kitchen looked better when it was a crack house.
That's kind of something.
Witness the red kitten.
It's she's showing this couple the apartment.
Yes.
And like the guy kind of has a funny bit. Like when the fucking cat falls out, like, she starts screaming at them. The guy turns to his wife and is like, all right, honey, ready? 1, 2, 3. And they like bolt for the door, which is kind of great. But like, yeah, your classic thing of these crumb bums have not been paying the rent. They're 3 months past due. You have this horrendous like spinny wheel thing with all their faces on it. And they're like, well, geez, it was Carrot Top's turn to pay the rent.
Or Jack Plotnick, who I usually like and stuff.
Really?
He pops up. He's in Buffy. He's the guy that gets killed by Faith.
Yeah.
He's in other stuff.
Yeah.
He's just like a fun comedic presence. But this surfer dude thing
There is
rough.
no reason for either of these characters. If anything, his roommate should be the opposite of him, being like, "What the fuck is this guy up to?"
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
some type of conflict here, because they're kind of just 3 Carrot Tops now.
Yeah.
One of them has a line. I mean, that's how it is, right? They're wacky and dumb as well.
Yeah.
And one of
Because
them
he has
a
to
line,
be better
Chris.
than some people. He has to be better than some of them.
They're talking about their surfing when they're walking in, and one of them says, reminds me of that time that I aced a tsunami off the coast of Guam when I was in kindergarten.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
The fuck you talking about?
I guess he's like a great surfer.
At 5 years old, he was like an Olympic level surfer, which I care about, I guess.
Well, it's one of those things with bad comedies where like, well, every line should be a little funny. It's like that's not
No.
true.
Yeah.
That is not true.
That's exactly right. Like that line would have been fine without that kindergartner part
Sure.
at the end of it. Like,
Exactly. It's like, well, what's even wackier if he did it in kindergarten?
that's exactly right. Now it forces Estelle Harris to threaten them by saying if they don't have the rent by the end of this month, she wants their skanky dingleberry riddled asses out of here.
Yes.
Like the gag with Estelle Harris in this movie is like they keep just making her say horrendous shit that
Yes.
you've never heard her say
But
before.
that would, you know what? I would be fine with it if they did that. But then they make a joke about the way they're like, oh, yeah, I know a lot of adjectives too,
Exactly,
lady. I'm
yeah.
like, don't make the joke about how fucking shitty your script is. Like, just don't fucking make me fucking eat it.
Well, here's the thing. They should kill Carrot Top because they're like, oh, Carrot Top, we gave you the money for rent.
Right.
And what did you do with it? It's like, well, I invented a brain freeze gun or whatever.
Course.
Bull
it's a heater. You put it on your head when you drink the Slurpee and no brain freeze.
Yeah.
That definitely.
Yes.
I'm guaranteeing you that was part of his act.
I'm sure. The asshole fanny pack is here as well. This is where we get the mention of the glow gunk, which comes in to play very heavily
Major
later.
plot point, that glow
That's
gunk.
right. So the idea is it makes your surfboard glow in the dark. And there's one off line that Carrot Top says, like, remember when we all dipped our
Yeah.
So it's like we all made our dicks glow one night when we were together.
fun.
Sure.
Just
So
a bunch
that's
of buddies
happening
hanging
here.
out with their dicks out.
And now that's why they're rotting off, I guess, is because we didn't really check the chemical
And
makeup.
Chris, let's not forget the ketchup helper, which is this is probably in his act too. The fucking gloves banging the back of a ketchup bottle to make the ketchup come out.
Oh, right.
Then
best way to get spicy
If you
ketchup.
are in Reno, Nevada, and fucking 3 fucking Manhattans in, you're laughing at
dude.
that.
No, I'm kind of wondering, like, now that he's a multi-millionaire, what are these gadgets? What are these props up
So you
to?
think how it's like when Jay-Z became a billionaire and like now when he raps about shit, it's like you're not even tethered to earth anymore.
Yes, exactly.
Same thing with Carrot Top. Like, what does your prop comedy turn into when you're so rich money doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
I bet it's a lot of like, now he just uses like people puppets. It's like, I can buy and sell human beings.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get to the point where he's gonna compete with SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic because he's got so much money
true.
and he likes building things.
You go to space, dude.
I should be the one to land on the red planet.
Dude, fucking send him to Mars.
No,
Mr. Top. No, you won't
Mr.
you
Top.
won't need a suit. You're fine. Just go up there, strap yourself in, then walk right out. You'll be fine.
I think we should actually go to Vegas and see his show. I think that'd be a nice little company field trip. I think you would open your eyes, Steve. Maybe he's got something after all. Now, I've never actually even seen his comedy, and I'm defending him for some reason.
It was on Comedy Central at some point. You know,
You didn't like it?
It's too like frantic.
Yes,
you
it's
know
like,
what
if you don't like that, I got this. You don't
There's
like
no
this,
transition to
Yes,
anything.
No,
Just
like the scene that we're at now in the movie. He goes to Taylor Negron's office, the fucking legendary Taylor Negron. Cool to see him in this. Rest
It's
in
great
peace.
to see him, yeah.
He's like pitching a bunch of the ideas, and it's like, well, if you don't like that, I got this. And like that is the delivery in the act.
Yes.
It's just like rapid fire, get these things out and make them laugh before they realize it's not funny. I think that's part of it.
Yeah,
it's like just say a bunch of shit and then get the hell out of there before they realize they're stupid for
A
laughing.
baseball bat that scratches your nuts for you.
My hand is fine.
There's that. What happened with the killer bees?
There's a bug zapper hat, and it's so, it even works with killer bees, and he actually has some and lets them out, and all these bees are flying around, and it's pandemonium. And then I guess, Taylor Negron doesn't like that. And he does have a line that is like, you are not Gadget City material. We cater to the family man, the business traveler, regular earth-dwelling human beings.
Yeah, that's kind of, and again, you have, this is what's fascinating about this movie. You have someone, again, like Taylor Negron, who's fucking hilarious and can deliver lines like that are funny. And then I'm sitting there like, well, I laughed at Taylor Negron, but I just wish he wasn't yelling at Carrot Top.
Yes. Well, because the thing where you're doing it, I mean, these guys are professionals. All right, what's the script? Jesus Christ, Carrot Top, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. You know, you just psych yourself
Totally.
like jumping into a cold pool.
That's what I wonder if everybody was like, just because like everybody was making fun of Carrot Top while he was on. Like it wasn't like there was no break for him. Yeah. Everybody saw his act and was like, the comedians were like, that fucking sucks. Let's make fun of him.
So comedians didn't like him, but people fucking must have loved him. And
that's the thing. Like Larry the Cable Guy thing.
Yes, or Jeff Dunham or whatever.
You don't get a lifetime residency in Vegas if no one likes you.
Yes.
Exactly. So
but that's what I wonder if this movie, if he was really gung-ho about it, he's like, we're going to hire all the comedians and they're going to have to serve me.
I like this.
Taylor Negron was saying some shit about me earlier.
You'll be my slaves in hell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the people puppets. It happened.
Well, that's right. There you go. That's what this movie was. Right?
So we get some like little montage of stuff he's doing for work now that he's hard up. Human crash test dummy. Could have been funny if they went with it more, maybe.
Yeah.
Or if that joke, I mean, that's 98. We were using that joke in 93 and it already had spent
I think The
capital.
Simpsons had already
Yeah,
done
yeah,
it.
they
it was
did.
spent
Yeah.
capital.
Oh, that's right. The why is that one dummy moving or whatever it is?
Yes.
The window is closed.
The next one is he's works at a condom company and he tests one of the condoms on the boss's daughter.
This is something that, and I get it. Like, it's your movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
for you. It's by you. Why he's such a Lothario with the ladies? It's like,
I don't know.
Is it anything beyond this woman at the condom factory?
and Courtney Thorne fucking
Well,
Smith.
I mean, obviously. But is there anything
yeah.
else? Is there anything I missed there? Is he fucking putting his dick down anywhere
the
else?
sexy tennis instructor is very excited
Oh,
about.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
But,
Right.
but he's also rich at that point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Was like Norm Macdonald on The View once, where it was like one of them asked him why would a woman want to ever date you? And Norm says, well, I have a lot of money.
It's true.
Anywho, I just like that someone on IMDb now has the credit as condom boss.
Yeah, I mean, and that again, it's a gag that does not involve prop comedy, and if it wasn't Carrot Top, it would kind of be a joke that's a little easier to laugh at. But even still, I was kind of like, it's just kind of something because he pops up and it's like, oh yeah, just testing out the merchandise, boss. And then the woman pops up and she just says, "Hi, Daddy," and the boss goes, "Girl, you're fired."
Yes.
And it's like kind of something. But then he just then you have to acknowledge his physical appearance in one of these, and it's him auditioning to play Little Orphan Annie in an Annie production.
Sure. And it's the
He gets
girls.
beat up by all the little girls or whatever.
Because I'm sure that was part of his act. Look at me, I got crazy hair like Annie. That's fun.
That's something, right? You gonna go with that and laugh? Maybe.
So he's like, he's driving his cruise control and he's reading the newspaper because the joke is, right, you don't even have to look at the road with this
Right.
cruise control.
Yeah, that's something.
This is where he passes by Jack Warden, whose car is broken down.
Jack Warden is
Yeah.
Simpsons joke crazy grandpa.
Yeah.
I love, and it's just poor. I mean, like, because Jack Warden also in Dirty Work, very funny performance there. It's like kind of like he's like just a gruff old man. Here, it's like, I love to surf and catch the wave,
Dude, yeah, he is
Shred a few waves before sunset if you'd give me a ride to the beach.
much to your Simpsons reference. Jack Warden in this movie is indeed ready to haul ass to Lollapalooza.
Thank you. That's what I meant to say.
It's degrading. Like you're
Yeah.
looking at Jack Warden, what they got him dressed up in. I believe these are purple tinted sunglasses, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen.
They're too small for him, too. And
Yeah, he looks
if-
like fucking Gary Oldman in Dracula.
He's
with
a-
those-
This is tubular, fellas.
totally.
He's a hip Grampy in this, and he's having fun. He likes the carrot juice that Carrot Top blends for him in the car because he's got it. Oh, you got it all fixed up real nice. You got all these gadgets.
Oh,
Look at
man,
all this.
I got all this garbage in this car. Wow.
Dude, like
It
Jack,
smells like shit in here.
he's
Great.
blown away by this car. It's so sad.
So he gives him a ride to the beach, and we see them surfing briefly. Obviously, neither of them probably.
Dude, the guy who's doing the surfing in place of Jack Warden looks exactly like Dollman's Tim Thomerson.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even fucking close to Jack Warden, dude.
You're not getting Jack Warden on a surfboard in his mid 70s.
But you are getting him like not green screen,
yeah.
but just like a rear projection kind of thing. And he's got like a bodysuit on at least. Very strange.
But
Or a
his-
wetsuit, excuse
he
me.
says like, oh, you're just down on you're a good young kid. I was an inventor, and you just seem to be. He's got a book full of inventions.
This is the book is the problem, right?
Yes.
Because Jack Warden, sure, you've made a fine career building this factory with gadgets that you make or whatever. This Carrot Top idea book, there's not a single fucking thing in there that is not drawn with a crayon. And Jack Warden's looking
Yeah.
at it like, these are some great ideas you got here.
Fart fan. Oh, man, that's fantastic.
wow, you got 40 pages of different blowjob machines. It's fascinating.
Wow, send this to our R&D guys down at the adult division.
A toenail liquor. Yeah, you could use that, I guess. I don't know why, but yeah, I guess somebody would need that.
Just trying to figure out the perfect pH balance of the human mouth.
Sure. Yeah, that's good. Oh, boy. Okay. Baby beer.
I don't know. I'm liking all of these inventions.
Baby beer's not too bad.
Sure.
Well, that machine, if we could get the right pH balance, I think that sounds pretty nice. So he's in a chicken costume when he gets home. We don't know why. I guess it was for some job
He was
doing.
working at in your classic bad TV. I work at a chicken place. I gotta dress like a chicken.
Yeah. So a delivery guy comes in the door or a mailman or whatever this character is to give him like this certified mail or whatever. The guy asks for like a tip, which is a bit much.
Come on.
And he shits out an egg and hands it to him.
Yeah.
Which is like, how did that happen? Is that one of his inventions?
The tip thing was like this fucking horrible thing we had in the 90s where like they made you think that you were going to be asked for a tip from like a ticket taker at the movies. They were like, it's everywhere. I'm asked to give them 6% tip. Can you fucking believe
A
it?
guy on the subway asked me for a tip today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He was a
get a job.
No, he was a homeless man, and I felt bad, but
Yeah, he didn't give anything though, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. I
didn't.
did.
I don't carry stuff.
It's true. I don't carry currency.
Could you
No.
tip me on my rambling, please?
If he had a credit card machine on him, maybe I'd be like, here's, put something nice on this for you.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have Square by any chance?
We're living in-
Yes, I do.
Can I slide it through your butt cheeks like in one of those rap videos?
Yeah, you can tap or you can insert.
Oh, I'll insert. Thanks.
I'm going to have you arrested.
But he finds out that Jack Warden has died and he has to go to the funeral. And again, in Tommy Boy, Tommy goes to his dad's funeral and could just exist at a funeral.
Yep.
Carrot Top, oh no, I forgot to wear a suit. Better take it off a dead guy.
Oops, and now you're punching the dead guy in the fucking face. And then what's that? Started a fire at the funeral, whatever. Whoa!
Him stealing a tie off a corpse and literally assaulting the body. Kind of funny.
Well,
a little
the
bit.
joke that worked
Not really
for me
good,
was when the
but-
guy walks in and you expect him to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, we all grieve in our own way. And he's like punching the dead guy in the face. It's something.
Yeah.
It's a laugh that happens without the aid of prop comedy.
And you get, this is when you meet Larry Miller, and he's got a great opening where he meets Courtney Thorne-Smith, who's like just another person at the company, and she's like, grief strings, and he hugs her, and he does a classic hair smell.
Yep. But it's a hair smell that she like picks up on. Is
Yes.
like, what are you doing?
It's great.
Larry Miller really is like one of the funniest guys to appear in 90s
Absolutely.
TV and film for
Incredible.
sure.
Dude, we all caught here, by the way, because the Hollywood royalty keeps coming. Playing the preacher at this funeral.
Rance
Good
Howard.
old Rance Howard.
Man, I love him.
If your son is directing Apollo 13, can you just be like, Ronnie, I have two options. I could either not pay my rent or do a Carrot Top movie.
Look.
Would you be able to help your old dad out?
Well, look, Ronnie's doing okay, but poor Clint needs a connection still to this day. So I'm just going to talk to some people
But
here.
like, I mean, if again, Steve, to your point, if your son is directing Apollo 13, why does your dad have rent?
Yeah.
It should be a thing. Clint Howard should be giving this eulogy, not Rance Howard.
Let the man sleep.
Totally.
He's worked a whole life.
Well, no, he had to, we couldn't help Rance out with anything. We had to hoard it all for Dallas what's her name?
Bryce Dallas.
Bright Dallas Howard.
yes.
I'll let my old man die in the street, but my daughter can direct a Star Wars episode.
So that's how it goes, though. Like, you hoard everything. You then set up your children. Anything that came before you might as well die.
Well, I mean, he set up his brother first. His brother did pretty well with all those tiny parts in all those movies.
Sure.
And then he was like, kind of a horror icon.
He was the
for
ice cream
90s.
man,
Yeah.
of course.
That's
and,
right.
Evil
He was in The
Speak, Evil
Dentist.
Speak.
He was in a bunch of stuff, yeah. Maybe it was The Dentist, too, I'm thinking of. He was a patient, I believe, that was tortured by the titular dentist.
Right, but it's not. See, and I always confuse the dentist with Dr. Giggles, which he is not in.
Yes.
That's Dark Man.
Yeah.
Or the other Dark Man, right?
No, the Dark Man was
The
Liam
bad guy
Neeson
from
and
The
Andrew-
Dark Man is Dr. Giggles.
Yes, Larry
Larry
Drake.
Drake.
Larry Drake was
yeah.
Dr. Giggles. Corbin Burnson was the dentist.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
In the Evil Doctor cinematic universe, the
Oh, fuck. We should do that.
EDCU.
I would have liked more of a franchise franchise of Ice Cream Man, though, because I need more heads in waffle cones. That's just.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ice Cream Man.
I have not either, actually. So I
Clint
should
Howard
check
is
that
the
out.
titular ice cream.
Yeah, he is.
Because
Yeah.
I remember the poster. I've never seen it.
I like this doctor idea, like a horror hospital type of thing. You get Dr. Giggles in there,
Dentist.
Nurse Ratchet's walking around.
Yes, I like
Oh,
this.
dude. And then, like the whole thing is just called Private Practice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not like that dumb show that got canceled.
No, it's just the
No.
Scary
shittiest,
Private.
the shittiest remake of The Kingdom ever.
This is like a bunch of evil doctors practice on your privates.
Isn't he doing like a continuation of The Kingdom?
Are they? I just know the shitty remake with Andrew McCarthy.
No,
from
not
the
Kingdom
90s.
Hospital.
Okay.
No, I think Von Trier's doing
Ooh.
another chapter of The
That would
Kingdom.
make me very happy.
That's some creepy shit.
Great show.
Never saw it.
Really? Oh, it's like a Lars von Trier like made for TV. It's like 2-part movie thing,
Yeah.
just called The Kingdom, and it's about this creepy hospital. Ooh, yeah,
Very good.
I like
I need
it.
to see that.
Carrot Top, he finally shows up to I'm sorry, Raquel Welch shows up, and she's the Dan Aykroyd of this film. She's like the competitor. She wants to buy the company out
right.
for parts, which literally is the plot of Tommy Boy. I hate to break it to you.
Yep.
Larry Miller is like, well, once I get my stock options, I'll be able to sell to you, and then this merger will go through, and I'm gonna get it because my uncle's gonna leave me the company.
Right.
And
So we go to the will reading with the lawyer, and it's blissfully, it's one last scene with Jack Warden. He's recorded this message.
But before that, real quick, they pass around his urn for some reason.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
With his ashes in it. Carrot Top opens it and starts talking to it and then sneezes some of the ashes out. And then for some reason thinks, oh, I got to put more ashes back in. So he takes the ashtray, full cigarette butts and all in there. So like the desecrating of bodies, I thought that was a high point for the film.
a good theme, running
Yeah.
theme. Yeah, okay.
I think that maybe they should have focused on
It is
that.
one of your favorite subjects.
Oh,
the
it
yeah.
happens
desecration of the
twice
dead.
in 3 minutes.
Oh yeah. It's like if I ever
and not to mention whatever you did to that cat.
if I ever started a wacky movie, they could call it like the Desecration Man.
You're just fingering buttholes,
Yeah.
dead people.
Yeah.
Sure.
There is kind of a good.
Checking the pH balance of that butthole.
Look, Jason Blum, it's all about buttholes now. Desecrating buttholes.
Buttholes die tonight.
It's an elevated horror film where a man sticks his finger up buttholes of dead people.
The butthole's also
All right.
elevated.
We'll rename it Happy Butthole Day. There, you'll like
Happy
it, right?
Butthole Day would be a great movie.
There is a credit where credit's due. There was a good Carrot Top delivery when the lawyer puts the tape in the VCR and Jack Warden appears on the screen and his character's name is Armand. And it's Carrot Top recognizing that it's Jack Warden on the TV and he goes, oh, hey, Armand. Like you're at his will reading.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of funny.
He leaves to Larry Miller a surfboard, hang 10 dudes.
Totally
Yes,
cowabunga, motherfucker.
His most prized possession. I do like the part where he leaves, because this is like humanizing Jack Warden even more. His butler and maid or whatever, he leaves the house and everything in it.
Yep,
so there's
you took
that.
care of this house for so many years. Now it's yours as a gift. Pretty nice.
Sell that for fucking scrap, dude. Just make a pretty penny in that land deal.
Absolutely.
Well, because you're not getting the Jack Warden old man smell out.
No,
is the
totally not.
problem. You know,
So
so
the-
if you're cool with living in Old Spice world,
And also
fine.
the HOA fees if you're just a butler, you can't afford those.
That's
No,
true.
please.
Yeah.
So Macmillan Industries was founded on dreams and it needs to stay in the hands of a dreamer. So he gives the entire stock holdings to his new friend, Edison. Great moment there where he suggests to Larry Miller to switch.
Yes.
And the lawyer says you can't, but it's like, why can't you?
You can. It's your property.
You could just
can do
sell
whatever you
all
want.
your stocks to him for a surfboard. Why
Yeah.
not?
Right.
Well,
Which
I
I
mean,
guess Larry Miller could have just said that to Carrot Top, but then unfortunately, guys, we don't have a movie.
Well, because I mean, if you're dealing with this Edison character, like, hey, Edison, I have a great idea. I'm gonna give you have that all annoying stock. I'm gonna give you $5,000
Yep.
for it.
Yep.
Oh wow!
But then, unfortunately, though, the lawyer makes the move of
Yeah.
being like, all of this with the net worth of $23 million.
Yes.
And oh my God, $23 million. Woohoo!
And one of the weirdest turns, I think, is, they're watching Jack Warden on TV. He's in bed. And then the bed starts flying.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
he's
he's
come
gonna-
on, ladies, is one of the, there's no women to be found in the shop, but he just yells, come on,
He's
ladies.
going to surf that big wave in the sky.
Of course.
Yeah,
He is.
sure.
He's
Do you
gonna-
think they played that at Jack Warden's actual funeral?
I hope not.
Last moment of this movie where I was feeling like I didn't want to kill myself. It's all downhill from here. Jeff
is.
Warden is the last good part of it.
So then we pick up at outside Macmillan Industries. Larry Miller is parking his brand new Jaguar. Fred Stoller, another comedian, sees it and is like, "Hey, nice car!" And then he tries to touch it.
Yes.
And Larry Miller says one of the weirdest lines in the movie. Touch my car again, and your minimum wage ass will get sold into white slavery.
Yep.
Okay.
You're going to be taken.
Have some Albanian gentlemen that'll sell you on the black market.
And
I get
Fred
a-
Stoller's just like, oh, geez, that's like the 4th time I've heard that this week.
Oh, they have a tattoo on their neck. They have weird hair. They
I
have
don't know, about 6 foot. Looks like a guy my mother used to date.
All right, Fred Stoller, you're about to be taken. Call out any tattoos you might see.
Did you see any carrot tops?
oh no, they're taking Sissy. Oh no, they took Sissy. Oh no, they're gonna take me.
Sissy.
Carrot Top shows up in his clown fucking car. And it's just like, it's just a thing where he's going to go work for a day and he's excited about it.
He's a little too excited in that elevator.
Oh, he farts.
He blames it on this woman. I can't believe she ripped one. Come on, own up to it.
It's insane.
It's
And
one of the funnier parts of the it's not funny at all. It's one of the funnier parts of the film.
I was getting flashbacks, dude, because I'll tell you what, the other day I was leaving my building to go to the office, get in the elevator, someone had cut the cheese.
That's where look,
You're a fucking terrorist if you fart in an elevator.
here's the
Really?
thing. Your body knows when you're in an elevator and your
Yeah.
butthole is just like, we got to fart. It's like, I can't do it.
Because you know what the problem is? Your butthole is not used to being like elevated up and down like
That's
that.
true. It's being stimulated.
It's been moved in an unnatural manner that just lets the wind out, I think.
But like, how long is an elevator?
We're gonna
10
addre-
seconds, clench it.
We're going to address this in Happy Butthole Day. It's going to be a great movie.
There.
Jason Blum is already attached. He's got a lot deep pockets.
Your Jason Blumkins attached.
I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Damn it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. It has a lot to do with carbonation, the mechanics and all the chemistry of carbonation.
And this is the post-it scene. Apparently, that's a post-it factory, sort of, or something.
Well, we say sticky notes because we can't say post.
Oh, yes, of course.
They make everything from note stickies to the thigh dominator.
And this is, oh no, I got in the glue and I'm all wearing post-it notes. I'm a baby. They just do anything.
Wait, I missed something though. Like
Yes.
how? And man, it's not even worth trying to get to the bottom of. But how is it, guys, that he gets the glue all over his hands? Why is he grabbing fistfuls of glue?
That's a good question. There is like a spout that is spewing goop, and he like puts his hands in it, and then camera pans back, and it says like strong adhesive or something.
Oh no, this is more sticky than normal cum. I thought this was the cum faucet. Oh no, help me.
There is a good Larry Miller line while they're walking through this factory of like, under my management, production has doubled. Fatalities have tripled, but there you have it.
Yep, that's another great thing. Yeah, fatalities have tripled.
And he's encouraging him to wear not a hard hat because I think there's a plot here to try to kill Carrot Top,
He's trying to get him killed.
which doesn't work. Instead, he gets hit in the head with a wrench instead.
Yes. And like kind of, this is when Courtney Thorne-Smith shows up with the Jack McGee, and like Jack McGee's like, we don't get breaks no more and all this. And he's got real working complaints about this thing. And this Larry Miller's a Bezos type, you see. He doesn't believe in working unions. And
No.
So he just tries
You should just be happy you get to work at this Macmillan and whatever the fuck factory.
Or as we find out later, I just like saying you're fired.
Yeah. But
This is
a
where-
plot point
yeah.
is that if the stock dips below 20-something%,
It's if the value of the stock dips below $20 a share,
then everything reverts to Larry Miller and he gets to do what he wants. So now he's trying to drive the thing down. So he's trying to instigate a strike for that reason.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's a big for some reason, kind of a note here. Like, why, if Jack Warden is bequeathing this company to a real dreamer, why would he put that clause in there?
Fine print in the will of like this, like it's a contest actually. It's a little bit of a game for me. I'm not going to be there to see it. You understand?
You see, Billy Madison had come out at this point as well.
Weird.
Yep.
Or Eric gets the company.
That's true.
Fuck, dude. We're buzzing along. We're almost done with this thing.
Well, he also goes to the boardroom and he has to make everybody coffee, which we kind of talked about.
Like, he walks in, they don't understand that he's the new chairman of the board, understandably. So they're like, "Hey, you fucking weird looking fuck, why don't you come get us some coffee?"
And he's just coffees with bananas and
and fucking stirs, and he shits in the coffee.
Yeah, it's not,
pisses all over himself, screams, "I'm a baby."
One of the weaker scenes for sure.
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah, it's one of the weak.
But this is when, so then they realize, though, and then Emmet Walsh is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you. Wouldn't made you eat my ass like that. Oh, I just love you."
I wish this country had anything for seniors where I didn't have to come in every day and kiss Carrot Top's ass. If there was any kind of social safety net, I wouldn't have to die alone, or I'd have to suck Carrot Top's cock.
Juggle the balls with my tongue a little bit, make them give me a little extra.
Look at poor Mr. Bill Erwin over here, pushing 90,000 years old, having a gargle Carrot Top's balls as the chairman of the board, I guess. No social safety net here in the United States.
I was 30 when Harry Truman was born, but I guess I can say radical to you, and we'll just be bosom buddies.
Second gummit on the grassy knoll, and I'm taking orders from Carrot Top.
Should have got out while the getting was good.
But yeah, so
his bonding thing, right? Because they're like, "Oh, let's all fucking figure out a way to get to know everybody." And then, like, this is where fucking Larry Miller walks in, and all these executives are playing Twister with Carrot Top. I don't know, man.
All right.
I don't want to be getting near that dude's fucking crotch.
Okay, I don't know how to say this. We've got a dozen hip surgeries at the same time that we're going to have to do right now.
Guys, it was the go-go 90s, and it was infectious.
I see.
The tour continues, and I didn't think this was going to happen. But the plot of this movie is awfully similar to Batman Begins. Because it goes down to R&D, which has been decimated by not Rutger Hauer. This time it's Larry Miller.
Right.
And Morgan Freeman's in this movie, and he's like, "Oh, now you're thinking, Carrot Top."
He's got to get the purple flower from the hill and wherever. And
the puckered asshole from underneath the fucking swimming pool.
See,
or
but
whatever.
what it should have been is more closer to the plot of Batman Forever, where we're at Wayne Enterprises, and Carrot Top is like the Edward Enigma of the situation.
Yes, okay.
And Larry Miller is just like, "You know what? All of these ideas are terrible, and you should be fucking fired. Good day, sir."
Do you think when they were casting Batman Forever, it's 95, just a couple years earlier, Carrot Top was definitely as big as he was in late 90s. Do you think he was on the list for the Riddler, really low?
Definitely.
In the 50s, you think?
I had the thought, when you watch him fucking gallivanting through this movie, it's a Carrie-esque Riddler thing, and I did have the thought of well, it would have been bad, but I would have understood it.
Well, that's what they were trying to do with this and the past. Is they're like, we could make our own Jim Carrey, couldn't we?
Exactly.
And just be wacky. It's not like he's a talented physical comedian who's been studying this shit forever and knows his bullshit. No. Just be wacky, you fucks.
I think Carrot Top should have been Batman in Batman Begins.
That makes
and then we
sense.
could have gotten Liam Neeson "Don't worry about your carrot. It'll take care of itself. Well, concern yourself about the top."
Well, he's so jacked now, dude. He could play Batman after our pets.
And then
That's
some
true.
old British guy as he's living, "Well, the carrot fell far from the tree, Mr. Edison."
I failed you, Carrot Top. I failed you.
Carrots don't grow on trees.
I should have Julianed you.
But that's a good invention. I'll make a carrot tree. Just watch.
I just hope that someday I'm traveling around Europe and I see you, little carrot cafe. You're happy, you're with a family, and we just nod to each other. And that's it for you, Mr. Top.
What I'd like to do is never see you ever again. Literally, and what I mean is when I see you, if I ever fucking see you in a cafe, don't even nod at me. You turn right around. You turn right around.
Unless you're being dipped in some blue cheese and then consumed. I don't want to see you again, Mr. Carrot.
We ended up going in a different Batman direction. Instead, Carrot Top's running around with a giant bomb on his hands. Just this movie.
Glenn Shadix, speaking of Batman adjacent people, Tim Burton.
Absolutely. Otho himself is Larry, the R&D guy.
Glenn Shadix is really ready to be in this movie. Isn't he?
He's game for
honestly one of the better parts of the movie. He's really going for it. Him and Larry Miller saving graces.
Yeah. Glenn Shadix is doing this thing. He is. I mean, again, it is very Lucius Fox, where it's just he's the last guy in R&D. He's just kind of toiling away in nothing.
What is the gag? It's like it's kind of Glenn Shadix also like sells this, where it's like Carrot Top's like, oh hey R&D, that's great. What are y'all working on?
Yeah,
and he's like, well, I don't have a budget, so I'm just working on this new kind of pocket protector. And he's playing it like super excited to be working on this pocket protector.
But I also think this is a Simpsons joke. It's like my pocket protector has its own pocket protector, and I'm like,
oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely. A Simpsons
do you think
thing,
the writers have
watched TV?
Dipped their hands in Post-it glue and have sticky fingers now for other jokes? Just sticky joke fingers.
Look, I'm telling you right now, comedy world, my fingers are sticky. If you bump into them, your joke's on me. That's your problem.
Look, Carrot Top, what you're going to do here is you're going to smash this cantaloupe with a hammer. And it's going to be a small ball peen. It's not going to be a full mat.
God, that would be amazing if Carrot Top did that in the 90s. Like, do you think Gallagher would have him killed? Do you think Gallagher
probably?
Would,
yeah, I think there'd be a big skerfuffle.
Oh, you already got the big hair, you son of a bitch.
Could you imagine? We could get a movie like what was it? Was the Late Shift, the Letterman Leno HBO movie
with Kathy Bates stuck right in the middle.
Do that, but it's Carrot Top v. Gallagher. It's so good.
I could see that.
You could get other people to play them, so it'd be watchable.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that was a Mad TV sketch. I don't know for sure. It sounds like it could be, but if it's not, we should make that movie.
But I mean, again, why didn't Gallagher have a movie? Like, he was huge in the 80s. There wasn't like one movie. It was like Gallagher is, I don't know.
I think Gallagher hit like sooner than a lot of other comics. Like, I think he was he was on top of the wave during the comedy boom, and he had so many fucking specials. He had deals with Showtime and shit. He's got tons of them. And I think it's just diminishing returns to the point where movies entering the possibility are now going away.
And Weird Al had his movie. Weird Al had UHF. I mean, like, that's true. Very similar. True. Like, let's just make a Weird Al movie, and they did.
Well, where so other many comedians would had to really work for it to get out of a club. He could do actual fucking venues, theaters, and he could sell out venues if you were doing 4-5 nights a week.
Yeah,
he could have in the heyday of his fucking stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
He was making plenty of money.
I guess it is a legitimate question. Why didn't he have a movie?
But I don't think it's because he's making money. Because the Dice Man was selling out Madison Square Garden. You still got a couple movies out of that guy.
But it's not the same because of the prop thing. I really do think that just didn't translate. They didn't have an idea that would really work.
I mean, clearly with chairman of the board, the prop comedy does not translate.
What if it was an action movie where he bashes people's heads open?
That might work.
Cool.
He was the Hammer Man,
Ricky O style.
Yeah, he's like it's like your Clint Eastwood's new partner. It's like, all right, Clint, you've been saddled with Gallagher.
I wish I was dead.
Put that fucking hammer down.
That's not what you do with a watermelon. You slice it open.
You just made a much better movie than chairman of the board because you need that counterweight.
Yes, of
you
course.
need someone to be not having it.
Well,
more than Larry Miller as the adversary, but it'd be great if he had a partner or something that wasn't having it, if those friends were any different, or if Courtney Thorne-Smith was in the fucking movie.
Well, that's why I think Otho and Larry Miller stick out so much, is because they are the ones who dialed it all the way back, and everybody else is like, party time, time.
I mean, Glenn Shadix does have to carry a lot of, because he's like, all right, Glenn Shadix, I'm going to give your department all this budget. We're going to make crazy stuff. Glenn Shadix in the next scene, I don't even know what it's called. It's called a PTO or something, where it's like you could piss yourself and shit yourself and vomit, and it's all fine.
The vomiting is a separate device.
It was made specifically for the audience of this film.
And I feel like Glenn Shadix just staring at the dressing room mirror, like, you're gonna go out. You're a professional, Glenn. You know what? You're gonna go out there. You've worked with Tim Burton before. You're gonna work with Tim Burton again. It's gonna be fine. This is just one day of your life.
I told you at the time that the house was too expensive, Glenn. And now look where you are. You're here in a Carrot Top movie. It is by your own design, Glenn. You got yourself into this Carrot Top movie, and now you will get yourself out of this Carrot Top movie.
Well, I was supposed to play the Penguin in the second. I was right there, and they took fucking Danny DeVito.
I was on the phone with Tim. It was very close, and Danny swooped in.
I'm sorry, I'm not in Taxi.
I bought this house.
So the reason why
Did I need a pool? No. A tennis court, Glenn. When's the last time you played tennis, Glenn?
You don't even like swimming.
And that whole the movie version of the Foghorn Leghorn story that I was supposed to be in also fell through.
So the R&D budget is doubled by Carrot Top.
Yeah, right.
Larry Miller initially warns him, but then realizes, no, let's do this because we'll screw the workers more. In the scene prior to that, Courtney Thorne-Smith in that tour says you can't sacrifice working conditions for productivity to Larry Miller. One of her brief fucking scenes.
Yeah.
Obviously, she gets one line like every 40 minutes, and that's it. And then he's inventing the portable outhouse pants where you could piss and you shit yourself in them, which honestly I think is a great invention.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, because he has something about like, this is perfect for long road trips.
Right?
I guess
we're gonna be on.
man.
We'll see when we're driving in a few days, or already on tour now. We'll be driving from Charlotte to Nashville, and we might have to do a little shit our pants.
Once the piss and shit is outside of me, I don't want it anywhere near me.
Exactly.
But think about like truck drivers, right? Those
Sure,
guys piss while driving anyway.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They piss in like Gatorade bottles and drink it. Is that what they do?
I mean, I don't know about that last part, but the first part, yes, I'm sure that's happening for the male truck drivers.
And then there's the puke shirt, which
Jesus.
yeah,
honestly,
the air sickness shirt.
The delivery here is what makes it fucking work. Is Carrot Top says pork chops, and then he goes last night.
Yeah. It is fun. I mean, he does, but he does it because he goes blank.
Dude, and you're just looking at this, and this poor man, like they do a thing where he's like, watch, I'll demonstrate, Carrot Top, and like sticks his finger down his throat. And there is a kind, God damn it, Andrew, you're awful. There's another kind of funny thing where Carrot Top is like, like Harry or whatever Glenn Shadix's name is in this movie, Larry. I think he's like, wow, Larry, I'm actually pretty impressed with your quick ability to make yourself vomit on command like that.
Yes.
But
and
then,
the amount of vomit.
yeah, and then like something like Larry Miller comes into the office or whatever, the research lab, and breaks it all up. And while like the next scene is getting ready to start, Glenn Shadix throws up again in the bag.
And Larry Miller is like, anyone smell pork chops?
I just all of a sudden got a craving for pork chops.
There it is.
What he says.
Also, by this point now, the strike has been averted with Wednesday luau's and the profit sharing. Prior to that, the strike info was leaked to the press by Larry Miller, trying to sink the company. Allison congratulates Allison.
Allison.
Hey, you're working at a Carrot Top factory, huh? You think I could get a job
You're congratulating Carrot Top on having a successful strike inversion.
Allison, are you sucking Carrot Top's cock? How dare you?
Can you get me one of those latrine shirts? I'm here for work.
See you later. You got orange lipstick on. You've got an actual carrot for a dick. I'm Billy Campbell. I'm on Melrose Place.
Oh, hey, Allison, I thought you were in a Carrot Top movie, huh? Guess you left the show a little too early, huh?
Look who came crawling back, huh?
I think I actually just looked it up to see, and she was on Melrose Place into 1999.
Oh, of course.
So, but her, if I remember right, her and Andrew Shue leave the show in the same season. At the end of the same season. Yeah.
They die in a plane crash together in the show.
Oh, if only.
The one thing about the Luau Wednesday, and I don't want to talk too much about it.
TWA Flight 800. Come on, Allison. Get the bags. Took me. Now that's me. Took me a second to remember a plane crash that was around that time.
Oh, excellent. An encyclopedic knowledge of plane crash.
I was like 9/11. No, that's not
A
yet.
little too early.
Corpse desecration and murderous fucking air crashes.
But this is what this movie
That's right.
is, because it's Luau Wednesdays, and it's like poor Emmet Walsh like, oh wow, we're partying down. And
tubular.
there is a dog on a surfboard, and I'm like, you know what, dude?
Dirty pool.
Yes.
Making me enjoy this fucking dog on this fucking surfboard in the middle of this fucking movie. Fucking dirty pool,
So
motherfucker.
you fucking enjoyed something.
Yes, this 1 second of a dog on a surfboard. I will admit.
You know what? You can just admit you like something. You don't have to be so cool on the internet. Oh, I don't like chairman of the board.
Yes.
So like the
Going
next-
against the tide once again.
so
You are
everybody's happy.
contrarian.
And now he's his pictures in Time magazine and whatever else.
Absolutely. In my notes, I spied another moment of a lady who's horny for him, though.
Exactly.
Because in that Luau Wednesday, which they're all at a beach, but they're all in business clothes, which
Sure.
is stupid. And so Courtney Thorne-Smith is hanging out with his other lady, and this lady's looking at Carrot Top, and she goes, "Oh, he's really a great guy, isn't he?" And she's getting horned up at Luau Wednesday.
Absolutely.
You want the top. You need the top.
Get the whole fucking carrot in you.
She does come in though, like after there's a thing about the stock has skyrocketed up to $75 a share. Carrot Top's doing really well, and she comes in and she's like, just wanted to congratulate you on successfully stopping the strike.
Yeah.
And like she's kind of like flirting, and then like you cut to him and he's eating this oversized donut.
Yes. How do I dunk my donut? Is that cut? We're cut, right? Good.
Good, because I gotta go get my huge coffee mug for the next shot.
Are we gonna have sex? Let me put my clown makeup on like we do every time before sex.
Something.
Oh, Larry Miller, because Raquel Welch claims to
be in this movie.
Sure.
I don't think she does.
Well, I was gonna say actually, do you think Raquel Welch treats this movie like Jennifer Aniston treats Leprechaun?
Maybe.
It was like, oh, darling, I don't believe that exists. What is it called? I don't think so.
Oh yes, I had
guarantee it.
Mrs. Welch, what do you think of working on chairman of the board? Oh, I loved Seinfeld. They were wonderful.
But so she threatens to cut off sex from Larry Miller.
Oh, right.
Because I guess vaguely they are also sleeping together while scheming this whole
Sure.
thing. So she's like, I'm going to fucking turn the tap off if you don't get in gear here and screw this guy over. And so Larry Miller like raids Carrot Top's office to like find some dirt on him. And this is where he finds like the
notebook.
idea book with all
Yes.
the stupid gadgets in it.
With the fart fan and everything. Raquel Welch has is definitely doing some ball stepping.
Oh, for sure.
The relationship,
Definitely.
she's just like, I'll keep doing what you like me to do.
So Carrot Top and Larry Miller go to play tennis.
Right.
And this is where Larry Miller says, "Oh, I saw your idea book. The ketchup helper, glow goo, bug zapper, they're great." I love his delivery. They're great.
The start of this scene is weird because it's like he comes down like wearing a skirt and like
Oh, yes.
Carrot Top doesn't instigate the joke here. He just comes down like, well, I'm ready to play tennis.
Yes.
And then Larry Miller has to be like, you're wearing a girl's outfit or whatever. And I was like, well, that's just let Carrot Top play in the skirt.
And, you know, it doesn't seem like hateful. It seems Bugs Bunny garbage.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it is.
And he even does the thing where it's like, well, your legs look quite. Oh no, Carrot Top. It's just like, all right, you're
I'm sorry, Larry Miller. I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
yes.
He does flip up the skirt to like moon him, and
Yeah.
he's wearing like American flag bikini underwear.
Sure.
Take that, US of A.
So they play a game. It's uneventful, and then Larry Miller gets hit in the nuts with the tennis ball.
Yeah, and then he gets knocked out for a while.
Sure.
And then a babe
a big
shows up.
bodacious babe comes in.
Yes, like like this woman looks like a cartoon from the 90s and 80s.
It's just like
It's like she looks like a living Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
As this character.
she's like, I'm a tennis instructor. It's like, wow, wee.
Yeah, she's like, see what I'm going to teach you tennis. Or he was supposed to go call like the ambulance for Larry Miller or something.
It's not just like he gets like hit in the nuts. He gets shot in the nuts with a tennis ball like
gun
launcher thing.
Yeah, like ball machine.
Yeah.
Like it's not just Carrot Top accidentally whiffed one into him.
No.
A machine shoots this dude in the scrotum.
He's like passed out to the point where now he's flirting with this babe for a while. He had Carrot Top left his racket on his face.
Yes.
And now he's being sunburned as the day goes on.
This is a joke that was made 100,000 times in the movies and 90s. Like, oh my God, weird sunburn.
Yes,
like,
we love weird sunburn.
Yeah.
Coming out from the back and you just see him and everybody's staring at him. It's like, what?
the gag here also, and it kind of worked, is he's like caught up with the tennis pro babe, and they're having like this huge day, and you're seeing like the time pass as they're being romantic, and then he just has to be like, oh fuck, I left Larry Miller back there, and like he kind of like runs
out.
away from her.
Some of the lines she tells him, these little sexy lines.
Oh, really?
She tells him that you're supposed to feel ball. Wait, no, that's my own note. Never mind. Feel balls. That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
The balls caress them instead of whacking them.
Ooh.
Strong, hard, forceful muscle you use to penetrate your opponent's court.
Sure.
So it's just trying to like put in like sexy sex talk into the tennis talk.
You left out Carrot Top's line of, you have boobies.
And then, like, after this is basically the Courtney Thorne-Smith date they go on.
To this museum, and she's suddenly wearing an Indian headdress.
It's like, oh, I could do the. You asked her out for lunch. She's like, it's great. You could do it here. And it's like they're in a museum exhibit as a cowboy and an Indian.
Oh, yeah. Native American headdress, by the way. I should say. Funny enough, I typoed and I wrote Indiana headdress. And I think that's more correct.
It's closer.
I mean, he's just got like a bucket of fucking Colonel Sanders or something. And then he's like, she's like, well, how is it you're able to take me on such a great date, Carrot Top? And he's like, oh, because a buddy of mine is the chief security guard, and I helped him out one time. And the gag is, it cuts to this guy who's clearly bald, and he's got like a green toupee, and he's like, I call it the Chia wig or whatever.
I'm pretty sure that is definitely a Carrot Top joke.
Yeah, it has to be.
And
he's like picking flower, like, and she's like, well, how is he so popular with the ladies? And he like picks a flower off his own head and like approaches a woman with it. Like that's the thing. We should say the reason they're on this date is because she's like, oh, Carrot Top, it looks like you need to take a break because like he and Glenn Shadix are like working through the night
on
for like some invention. And there's a good Glenn Shadix gag here where when Courtney Thorne-Smith finds them, she's like, let's go get lunch and clear your head. And Glenn Shadix, they have one of those like clear, dry erase boards. And he's writing help on it very slowly. I mean, like, if this was the fucking Otho show, man, this movie would be great because Shadix kills it in this.
Of course he does. But he burps. And it's like, oh, sorry, I probably embarrassed you. And she's like, I grew up with 5. We always love this.
Yep.
Cool girl grew up with 5 brothers. Like, that's always the thing.
That's the only way I can stand him.
Exactly. And she burps like the alphabet or something.
It's way worse than that, dude. She's like, hello, Carrot Top, how are you, ABCD? And like they cut outside and the museum is shaking and dogs are barking. And aren't you laughing your ass off?
Well, Courtney, you just gotta get through the scene. I know it's difficult to be in a Carrot Top movie. I told you not to do it.
I would have been in a Carrot Top movie. Listen, Courtney Thorne-Smith, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth like that. You're in a Carrot Top film.
Oh, y'all getting paid to burp? That's the best thing ever.
Getting paid to do what you love, Courtney.
That's fantastic. Can I have $5?
I mean, and we're just doing like the camera is shaking and the whole thing.
It's a lot.
It is just really not funny. Also, it's kind of because it's 98. So did this happen yet? What is the fucking when Jay Sherman goes
that's
on
got to be
The
like 94
Simpsons?
or 95, yeah.
Right? Because they're
Yes.
coming, Eudora, like
Yes.
a huge, surprising burp gag. Yeah. Whatever.
She inspires him to fix his invention, which winds up being a TV dinner with a TV in it.
Yes,
And
it's a real TV dinner, and he like because the TV screen cooks the food, or it sounds very nightmarish.
It sounds very cancer inducing.
Only costs
Which is the plot of the
$80 per meal.
Yes, exactly.
Here you go.
No, he says it's only $2.19 more than the cost of a regular TV dinner, which is literally impossible.
Like to look at this thing, ladies and gentlemen, because I know you haven't seen the movie. It sort of flips up like a Nintendo
Yes.
DS.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly like that.
And
That's what we're looking
dinner
at
on
here.
one hand and the TV on the other. And everyone's like, wow, this is exciting. And Courtney Thorne-Smith's like, well, we have to get this tested. We have to go through all this other stuff. And then like Larry Miller's like, well, no, you don't want to do that, do you, Carrot Top? And he doesn't, which, I mean, obviously getting any food out to the public, it's got to get tested.
Food is where the FDA gets involved.
Exactly. You're not getting this out for another 2 years. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
But no, they rush it into production.
Immediate production, yeah.
And it's a huge hit. And
He
there's
does a
lot of
commercial. He's an astronaut.
One of the varieties, the Beavis and Broccoli.
Because they're all named after TV shows. There's like something mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Then you watch Carrot Top on a surfboard ascend the stock market.
It's a huge success. We get like a shot of like people running into the supermarket to try to get them.
Yeah, dude, we're like killing people like it's fucking Black Friday and Tickle Me Elmo's
You know
out.
what? It's taking the nation by storm. Would you imagine this? It's actually in the nation's capital as well.
Oh my God, I forgot about the clip.
dude. Yep.
Because it's just like, and it's like there was always a couple of Bill Clinton jokes. It's either he's a Lothario or he's a big fat pig.
Right.
And here he's a big fat pig. Which is,
With food specifically.
Yes, yeah.
Right, because the gag is like, you hear some woman as Hillary Clinton just be like, Bill, come to bed. Which, yeah, right, okay. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be right there, baby. And then you see like the door to his office open and it's like a bunch of boxes of the TV dinner and he's just been like eating multiple TV
I think,
dinners.
I think he tells the Secret Service guy, like, don't you tell anyone.
but you know, Bill, you could get like good food and just the TV's right there. You could eat it in front of
Yeah, but this thing lets me watch Dukes of Hazzard on a small screen. That's what he's watching,
Yes.
by the way, is Dukes of Hazzard.
It's the only thing that Jimmy Carville will eat. These goddamn pieces.
Oh yeah. No, that was not a James Carville impression.
It's
at all.
almost there.
What you have to do here is you gotta get rid of welfare. Gotta get rid of the welfare. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, eat some of these little snacks here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's bad. That's woke. That stuff is woke. That's what it is. Yeah.
Anti-wokeism. I eat food with TV in it.
There's a weird thing where it cuts to a shot. I think it's right maybe before the Clinton gag where like there's two homeless dudes. One is eating the TV dinner and the other one is literally biting into the top side of a rat. Like a whole rat is
That's
what he's
something.
eating. It's kind of a funny
That
gag.
sounds more appetizing than whatever the fuck this was going
Yes,
to be
I mean-
in the fucking TV
Well, we see the
slot.
production of it is pretty funny and dumb. Like it's like a protein and like a whole potato on a line going into like a car wash that is the factory for these TV dinners.
It's very strange. It's almost as if like the writers of this film don't know how
You know-
food is prepared.
I think I just realized. You know what this is very similar to? Is Freddy Got Fingered.
Yes.
Oh, I could see
Yeah.
that.
But at least Freddy Got Fingers is an anti-comedy. It's like
Is it?
trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's trying to be like irritating. On
I think I'd
purpose.
rather watch this movie.
Okay.
I haven't revisited that movie since I definitely saw it in theaters.
I saw it in theaters too, and I hated it.
Yeah, I remember. And I was like big into Tom Green. Like when that movie came out, I was like, fucking finally, the day is here.
Oh,
a
yeah.
Tom Green movie, ladies and gentlemen. And
Well, that movie is at least proudly nonsensical. This one, they actually kind of think they're making sense.
Yes.
Which is horseshit.
And
No,
also, I
I
will say,
think
at the time when I watched Freddy Got Fingered, I didn't even understand like what anti-comedy was.
But I could tell you why people like Freddy Got Fingered more is because that's what you grew up with. You didn't grow up with Carrot Top.
Well, I guess not. Well, I mean, I grew up
You'd
with
have to
Tom
like
Green
something.
and Carrot Top.
Something to grow up with it.
I guess there you go. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Like,
didn't they hit around the same? It wasn't that big. It was like a 2-year difference between when they hit.
2000,
Tom Green and
maybe,
Carrot Top. Tom Green, I feel like was 98, 99 is when he hit.
The TV show, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the show, the Tom
Yeah.
Green show. I forgot about
Big
that.
deal of that show.
What do you think Glenn Humpnick is up to these days?
Is that his real name?
Glenn, his buddy Glenn Humpnick, I think.
Oh, no. I thought you were about, I didn't know Tom Green was his actual name.
Oh, Tom Green, I think. that's his actual name.
2001, Freddy Got Fingered.
Okay. So it's
Remember on the Tom Green show?
There was his sidekick.
The sidekick.
Was the guy
Yes.
drinking coffee in the background? Or?
Well, that was Phil. I think the guy
like
that was always
Phil.
like he would
Yeah.
laugh. But then there was his buddy Glenn, who he like debased constantly, I think, and it was kind of funny watching that dude eat shit.
It's better. I'm waiting for that. We've had the Jackass Renaissance for a while now. I'm waiting for this Tom Green Renaissance.
Tom Green show was 99 to 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, he kind of. I mean, actually, when he was on Norm's old podcast, that was kind of funny.
yeah.
Like he's a funny enough dude.
I'm not saying he's not funny, and I think he is.
That movie's
funny.
terrible.
I
That
think he's
movie's
funny.
horrific.
I think he's funnier than Carrot Top.
Yes.
I don't see much of. I'm not saying. I'm not going to be the guy saying Freddy Got Fingered is good.
Nope. That's
At
not
least
gonna happen.
maybe I need to rewatch it, and maybe everyone else is a genius.
No, I'm not saying it's good either. So whatever. Now Larry Miller's masterstroke is some guy gets on television. Well, first of all, Tom Green, Carrot Top has become really famous, and
Changing the face of business. Time magazine.
now he doesn't have time for his buddies, which would be a plot in a movie that's not this one, because it's like a half a scene where his friends show Estelle, whatever, is like, oh, the check bounce because Carrot Top's spending too much money on other stuff.
Right.
Because he writes her a check for a year's rent. It bounces. They get evicted, and they go to find Carrot Top, but he's just far too busy being a big businessman.
And he's wearing a suit now. It's very important.
He's
not
changed.
his board shorts. In that scene with Estelle Harris, it's disgusting. She's like, again, just the same empty threat from a landlord.
Yes.
And then she does the thing where she fucking pulls on the cigarette and the whole thing like goes down in one go. Ugh.
It's gross.
It is gross.
But Larry Miller's masterstroke here to kill Carrot Top is some guy goes on television and says, I used this TV dinner and look at me now. And they turn off the light and he glows. Therefore, he's got radiation. It's like a class action lawsuit, which you don't hear about ever, but they say it once. And I'm like, well, those like need evidence.
Yeah.
And this is apparently it's a $500 million class action lawsuit. And the thing about class action lawsuits, see, it's like a class action.
Yeah.
So you need more than one person
got it.
to have this thing happen to them.
No.
You know, where it's like when people want to sue the people who make Roundup because it gave like hundreds of people cancer.
Sure,
That's
yeah.
how you do a class action lawsuit. Not one idiot on television can a class action lawsuit make.
Well, I can explain that. In the script, we were. How you like that? How about that? I'll explain the script to you. How about that? Fuck you.
Yeah, no, you got me there, Carrot Top. You got me there. Actually, speaking of the farting, very important plot point. Another great invention by Otho is a lie detector shirt that when you're wearing it, if you lie, it produces a fart sound. Keep that in your
And
back
it's
pocket.
called the bull shirt. Yeah, the bull shirt. You're smiling halfway. I see it.
I think it's just because he's growing slowly insane.
But so now with this, the stock is plummeting, guys, because
It's
of
in
the.
it's in free fall.
Oh no, losing the Christmas bonuses.
I'm gonna have to kill myself like RoboCop.
Oh, I gotta jump out this window here. The fall should do it. Yeah.
I would pay big money to see him jump out a window.
Emmet Walsh just throw himself out of a window.
Just an old, heavy-set man hitting the pavement.
I'll just do what Charles Durning did in Hudsucker Proxy. Throw myself right out this goddamn place. Fuck these people.
And then we put up plexiglass windows to stop it.
See if Tim Robbins can take care of this
Now
stupid
that's
man.
a great version of basically the same idea.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
This movie is kind of
Hudsucker.
also the Hudsucker Proxy. Yeah. Oh, so it falls below $20 a share. And I believe the great Larry Miller masterstroke here, he goes, he calls him a menace to humanity, which is So accurate.
He is. He's like our friend Matt Frewer called Wayne Zielinski last week. He's a waste of skin.
Yeah, that's
Precisely.
And Larry Miller has this announcement of the company. This is Bradford Big Daddy Macmillan.
Oh, right. Oh, man, him over the PA.
All men who have hair are fired.
Yes. If you're thinning and you want to come back with it, you can do that. Maybe you'll get your job back, kind of a thing. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and he starts firing everyone, and he's reveling in it. Then, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say there's just because around here is where Carrot Top like goes back to the beach bungalow.
Yeah,
And
he's evicted.
there's the big evicted thing, and my thing was like, why didn't he just move?
Yeah, of course. You would just move to a better apartment.
Like it should be a thing where like he's so rich, there are like the dudes are living in a mansion.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that should be something.
Or he should have bought the fucking bungalow from...
also that.
At that point, Billy Madison, they would sue.
Yeah.
They would be like, no, you did enough.
So instead, he goes and like sleeps on the beach and fucks a sand pile that's shaped like a mermaid.
Yeah.
And then his buddies find him, and then he's like, "Oh, I've lost it all, and I'm learning a lot of lessons about myself." And he throws his idea book out. 'Cause he's like, I'm
Oh my
growing
god!
up.
Oh my god! Not any of my cartoon drawings. No.
But then he looks through it, and he finds out that the glow gunk formula is missing.
That's right. It triggers in his mind because they go to a sea shack that the bros had been sleeping in.
Yes.
And he sees the surfboards and he remembers the glow gunk and he goes and retrieves the idea book and he realizes that this has all been a put on.
And there's a fun Larry Miller thing where like
I love this.
they
fucking thing.
replay
I love this.
the moment on the tennis court. He's like, glow gunk. And he's like, it's kind of like he's just like really selling that's what he's stealing. Kind of.
Yes.
It's very
Yeah,
funny.
but
Lisa
he's-
has braces.
he has a flashback
gunk.
with Larry Miller saying glow gunk. And then it transitions to a flashback of the babe from the tennis court.
Yes.
And then it goes back to Larry Miller and he says, nice try, but I outrank her in these flashbacks. I kind of like that.
Yeah, so whatever. Again, important plot point here. Glenn Shadix spills coffee all over Larry Miller before this big presentation or whatever. And it's like, he's going to have to change his shirt. I wonder what shirt he's going to put on instead.
And it's the end of Tommy Boy. Raquel Welch is about to sign the papers to take the company away. And now Carrot Top has to convince everyone that Larry Miller is a big old liar. So they're... And the machinations to get to the office takes too long.
And this part right here specifically is the desperation of this needs to be over 90 minutes.
Yes.
And we are like literally getting the characters stuck in traffic. Like they're in Carrot Top's obnoxious car. They get stuck in traffic. And this has to be something from the act. If you had the periscope in your car to see where traffic stops, and he like scopes it out and he finds a way through the traffic and it's like, all right, guys, this way. And it's like, cool. So you managed to add another like 60 to 75 seconds onto this movie with this instance. Cool.
Yep. And then they almost kill a construction worker and have to brake suddenly, causing this guy to like let go of this crane that was holding like the MI of Macmillan or something. The big metal sign was coming off the building.
Right.
It falls and crushes Larry Miller's car, which, by the way, I don't even know if we talked about, had been redecorated at some point by Carrot Top and ruined.
It is amongst the fucking tidal wave of bits.
Yeah.
But it's that like Larry Miller's car is the only thing. It's the only joke structure in this movie that uses heightening.
Yes.
In any successful way, because it's like when Carrot Top gets there on his first day or whatever, he accidentally rips the Jaguar logo or whatever, a little statue off the hood ornament. So then it's that. Then it goes to like, Carrot Top feels bad about that, and they repaint the car.
Little dent. They do the whole. spray paint
and then
thing.
it's like Larry Miller's got like a fence around it. And he's telling Fred Stoller like if anyone tries to take it, you can shoot him on sight. So
And
yes,
then
the crescendo of this joke is the thing falling in.
But anyway, Ray Zielinski, Raquel Welch says no to the deal. I mean, they all kind of disband.
Well, basically he comes in, like she's about to sign the thing, and when you know it, Carrot Top shows up just in the nick of time, explains that he lied about glow gunk, and basically Courtney Thorne-Smith is like, well, then you're gonna go to jail, and I'm like, I don't know, is he? I don't.
Do you want any kind of, ethics investigation around this company in general? I would say no. I would say just let it all lie.
There's a great thing, though, where I think it's Raquel Welch says something about like taking the high road, and it's Emmet Walsh's greatest line in the movie, because he just goes, I'd like to take the high road to your ass with my shoe.
And yada, yada, yada. The bullshit reveals Larry Miller to be a liar. And Raquel Welch is like, you know what? I don't want the company. I just want a percentage of that great invention.
I think it would have been really funny if he was also he was tricked into wearing the shitting pants.
Yeah, bring that
because
back.
now he's like shitting himself in fear. Anyway.
And it's literally just like Tommy Boy, because at the end, Ray Zelinsky's like, yeah, I would love to have your brake pads. I'd love to carry them in my store. I would love to do that for you.
Yes,
Piece of shit.
I think Emmet Walsh has some line like, take that turd out of here. And Fred Stoller's like, with pleasure.
Yeah.
And they remove Larry Miller
Flush
from the
that
film.
fucker.
Yeah.
And, it's the end of the movie, and Carrot Top's like, you know what? I've learned I don't want to be the chairman of the BORED. And I'm much better as an inventor. You know what, Courtney Thorne-Smith? Like, what? No, you're on. Oh, okay.
Because I was going to get my keys.
No,
early dinner.
we have one more scene for you.
Which I'm in the movie more?
Oh, you want me to find Courtney? I'm Daphne Zanuga. You're clearly not. You have blonde hair. No, I'm Daphne Zanuga. I just have to go. We're doing a Spaceball sequel down the road. Don't worry about it.
She's the chairman of the board because she's so well prepared and knows what's going on. And, he's going to run the R&D division with Lucius Fox, and it's going to work out great.
Yeah. By the way, Larry Miller tried to escape, but his car was destroyed. So he gets into Carrot Top's car, tries to make it work. And there's like a security device that one of the pedals, which is shaped like a foot, jumps up and mashes his testicles.
One more time.
I love that. A couple nut hits.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
His nuts are jelly by the end of this movie.
Isn't it so great? Like, even as a young kid, you're so well aware of like beating testicles is like a big, like, not only is it funny, but it's like terrible pain.
Yes.
I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, and thanks to pop culture and just, world experience, you learn that quite quick as a young boy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And then
they make out, by the way, Courtney Thorne-Smith.
Yeah, thank you. The most disgusting part of the movie, I was about to say.
Carrot Top.
Because the poor woman, just all she wants to do is act, you guys. She's in a successful television show. She wants to make the jump to movies, but a big stumbling block is you got to make out with Carrot Top. Wow. A sea of old lecherous men just watch you. It is the most disgusting thing of like, they have a kiss and then it's like, whatever. Then they start making out, and all these old guys like, oh, yeah, go get it, Carrot Top.
Give it to her, Carrot Top. Help her, Carrot Top.
Take it off. Take it off.
You can see, you ever see a movie, and this happens often, like when kind of unsecure male actors have to do a gay kiss, and they're like, you can see them psyching themselves up for it, like their mouths are tight, and they just go in for the kiss, like, I am a gay man and I love you, and they like go in. I'm trying to think of a movie, an example, but that does happen. That is this times a million for Courtney Thorne-Smith leading in to kiss Carrot Top.
She has taken both of her lips and inverted them inside her own mouth. And it's just like her face is touching his lips.
What we got for you here, Courtney, is a kissing mask. We've made a duplicate of your lips. You're going to put them on your actual lips so that his saliva does not touch yours.
And then what happens here? He faints or something? Because the end of this movie is...
We're surfing
again. We go back to surfing.
Oh, yes,
it's not over yet.
I forgot we're surfing.
We got to get another kiss in.
That's right. And there's been a gag before where like he's surfing and Courtney Thorne-Smith has to be like, Edison, watch out for those rocks. And his surfboard has an emergency brake.
Sure.
So he does it this time and he goes flying. And yes, this is where she's like, back up, everybody. I'm an expert in CPR.
Estelle Harris.
Estelle Harris just starts tongue kissing him.
Kissing the Carrot Top.
The inside of the movie ends in the inside of Carrot Top's mouth, which is where it should have ended.
Yeah.
And then the only part of the movie that's truly great is over the credits is Ramones doing California Sun, which is a fucking great song.
Yeah.
And
Let's do
that's
it.
when I realized I'd finally seen all of Chairman of the Board.
It's incredible. It's incredible film.
Recommendations and final thoughts, Steve Sadak.
Oh God, this will be my final thought. My final thought on this earth will be of Chairman of the Board. I am certain.
Are you gonna die?
Yeah, no, I mean, just it's that's how it works. When you
One
go
day,
to when you go to hell, you see.
Oh, yeah.
There's 3 doors. One of them's Chairman of the Board. No, I did not like this film. I found it grating and irritating. I find Carrot Top to be an unpleasant presence. I don't think that anything is redeemable in this film except for Larry Miller and Glenn Shadix and some really stalwart supporting turns. But those are pickles in a rotten meat sandwich. You know what I mean? I don't care how much I like pickles. It's still the rotten meat kind of destroys the whole sandwich. So I'm out.
Chris Cabin.
Yeah, a pickle comes with almost every diner meal. The diner meal could be a turd. Yeah, I really what I think annoyed me most about this was how like brazenly they were just taking from like well-trodden material that everybody else knew, everybody had laughed at already.
Yeah.
When you do that too much, I really just check out. Like it becomes difficult for me to keep on there. And it's the same with the action movie. Like I'll be honest, like Sixth Day when they're doing the fugitive stuff, I'm like, this kind of sucks. I don't really like this. You're not even like curving it towards the star of the thing.
You're constantly being reminded of better material that you could be watching.
Yeah, it's annoying as hell. And to see it at this volume, at this speed, at this I mean, it's just too much.
Eric Siska.
Yeah, it's not good. I think seeing is believing. Maybe give it one spin. Definitely don't watch it twice in 24 hours. Larry Miller, I do think, is the MVP of this movie.
Yeah.
Shadix great too. Yeah, it's obviously it's not great, but I do think I feel like people are harder on Carrot Top because of his stupid name and prop comedy.
Yeah,
and I think he's probably funnier and more engaging than anyone on SNL right now. To be quite fucking honest with you, with the state of the industry right now.
Yeah.
Would you rather? I would rather watch this movie than an episode of SNL.
I'll put it this way: I definitely would have to think about that. Like, and that alone is a condemnation beyond words. I mean,
do you remember that movie that came out? What was it? Tom and Jerry?
The cartoon?
Yeah. Colin Jost.
Yeah, he's terrible.
What about him?
The fucking movie's worse than this one.
Oh, I didn't know
Colin
Jost
Jost
was
in it.
As like a person?
Well, you almost said as himself, which is exactly his acting speed. So
right.
Yes.
But he's playing
honestly,
a character who's interacting.
He's playing a character who's interacting with the cartoons.
Oof, that's rough.
And honestly, Carrot Top could act circles around him, which is insane to even say.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I think Carrot Top, while not good and a punching bag, is better than a lot of people.
I will say I find Carrot Top more engaging than Pete Davidson.
Yep,
Sure, I'll buy
exactly.
that. I'll buy that.
I totally understand where you're coming
I'll watch
from.
King of Carrot Island.
Oh man, I don't know about that. Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you. I don't know if I'm entirely in a seeing is believing situation, except if you I think like folks in this room for the most part have a passing fascination with bad comedies, specifically bad movie comedies from the 90s.
Yeah.
I will say, like, if it wasn't for this show, I probably would have gone my whole life without seeing this movie. It was always one of those things where I was like, I understand what Carrot Top is, and that's Carrot Top being in a movie. And
Sure.
I understand that that is not for me, and I've never watched it.
Sure.
It wasn't for me. I was genuinely surprised at just how many people they tricked into being this movie with paychecks. Like, that's it's stunning the amount of people that are in this movie. Good for the casting director. You know, maybe Carrot Top was like pulling some friends from the industry. Maybe he has huge friends with Larry Miller. I don't know. But like, the supporting performances alone, I think, make this kind of an interesting thing. But you just got to proceed with caution, folks. You got to know that you're going to watch a 95-minute Carrot Top movie and that he's in basically every scene.
And you're going to feel that time. It's not like this buzzes right by. This is, you feel every minute.
It buzzes right by like a bee in your ear.
It's annoying and you're kind of terrified the whole time.
Exactamundo.
That is Chairman of the Board from the year 1998, directed by now We Hate Movies hat tricker Alex Zamm. If you want more WHM, of course, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies. A ton of great bonus shit on there, as always, including a massive close to 2.5 hour episode. We love movies, talking about Ghostbusters. There's a film comedy that works. And then, of course, on this main feed, the show continues next week. We're on the road and whatnot. So, Steve Sadak, what are we pulling out of our hat for next week?
We are coming at you live from Zanies in Chicago, talking about Taken.
Oh, Taken! They're gonna take you.
This was a lot of fun doing that live. Being back on the stage is wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely come see us, and we'll be in Brooklyn in December as well. If you missed out on our southern dates, drive to New York. I don't know what I'm saying.
So until next week, when we are live from Zanies in the great city of Chicago, talking about Taken, I'm Andrew Jupin,
Steven Zadak,
Eric Siska,
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.